Welcome everybody to this weather briefing. Meteorologist Joe Farrell coming to you with this one. We're talking blizzard, and it's pretty unbelievable that we're talking blizzard because just the last 2 days we've been in the 70s, and it's just unbelievable. Midwestern weather, Iowa weather in general, it can take such a turn and can take that turn extremely quickly, as we've seen. And so what's going on right now is this low is setting up right now in the Oklahoma Panhandle. It's going to be making a beeline northeast, and it's going to be affecting the state later on this afternoon. It's already starting to drop some sprinkles across central Iowa. I know we had a few sprinkles here in Des Moines about half hour ago, and I can see on radar that it's probably dropping a little bit of sprinkles up in the northern part of the state as well. So the northern part of the state is definitely going to be switching over to snow much earlier in this system. And I've got it's a GIF. I just basically took the pics off of this GIF. It's the HR run, and I want to show this to you guys because it's not an exact depiction of how I think this storm is going to play out, but it's pretty darn close. And you can see here, it's early on this evening, it's going to start switching over to snow in the northern part of the state, and it's going to fall pretty heavily as this low pressure system is going to be extremely moisture rich, and it's going to be really deep as well. So those snowfall rates are going to be pretty darn high tonight once it does switch over from rain to snow. As I go through my progression here, you can see the snowfall rates just still staying really consistent and really heavy in the northern half of the state of Iowa. And that rain-snow line slowly makes its way south and eventually gets into the Des Moines area. And that, it's not going to be until probably Friday morning at some point that Des Moines sees any snow whatsoever. And, even this HR shows really no snow happening in Des Moines. Really, it shows it missing by a long shot. But what's going to be happening is I think that it's going to switch over to snow just a little bit sooner in Des Moines, and it's going to be really heavy there for just a little bit really early on Friday morning before this thing kind of makes its way out. And it's going to be, there's going to be some dry air that punches into this. So there's going to be just a small break on Friday morning, and then that backside moisture is going to drop a little bit of light snow once again. So that is something to keep an eye on as well. But now let's get into what I think is going to be the biggest issue with this is not only, pretty high snowfall totals, but also the wind. The wind is going to be extremely strong out there on Friday, and it's going to make travel pretty much impossible. And, when winds get up to this high of gusts, as we can see here, this is the Euro model showing these wind gusts early on Friday morning, really early on. Wind gusts are going to really, this is where they're really going to start to pick up in central and north central Iowa and northwestern Iowa as well. Possibly gusting up to 45 miles per hour at this time, 40 plus miles per hour for sure at this time. And then we head into early Friday morning, and still, they're even stronger across much of the state. Those greens are anywhere from 35 miles per hour, and then that bright green right there in the middle is around 45 plus miles per hour for wind gusts. And they really stayed that strong throughout much of Friday. Now, once we get into Friday evening, they'll start to die down just a little bit, but with that fresh snowfall, it's definitely going to keep causing issues throughout all of Friday and even through Friday evening. And Saturday morning, things are still going to be a mess. So travel is going to be very, very difficult over the next few days. So let's talk about snowfall totals here. The Euro has been extremely consistent showing this track, and I've agreed with it pretty much the whole way through. And I'm going to be rewarding it by showing it in my video here so we can see that wide. It's not a real wide swath of the heaviest snowfall, but from Storm Lake area over to Algona, over to Mason City, down to Fort Dodge, anywhere from 10 to 13 inches of snow. I think that's going to be, that could be easily reached. There's going to be a brief melting period. That snow's not going to stick on the roadways right away. It's not going to stick to the ground right away either. The temps have been too warm for that to happen the last few days. And so that may decrease these amounts by just an inch. It won't decrease them much because this thing is going to be very strong, and I don't want to underestimate it whatsoever. And this black circle here The reason I did this is because this is an area I'm going to be watching for overnight tonight, and possibly some thunder snow could happen in there because it could bring some stronger thunderstorms through the Des Moines area. But those thunderstorms are going to be strong just north of Des Moines as well, and it's going to be snowing in that area, so that could produce thunder snow, which is going to increase snowfall rates and possibly even increase total snowfall amounts in this black circle. So that's an area that I am definitely going to be watching for tonight. So as you can see over to Cedar Falls, around anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, I think, is a pretty good bet. And any snowfall at all with these winds is going to be pretty ridiculous and pretty make travel pretty much impossible. So keep up with my Facebook, guys. If I have any changes or any just any information that I want to give out, I'll be giving it out today. So keep up with that. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.